Have you ever felt like life is too overwhelming, like everything is moving too quickly and you're struggling just to keep up? If you've ever felt lost or out of balance in the chaos of life, know that you're not alone. There's an ancient philosophy called Stoicism that offers tools to help you find inner calm and strength, no matter what challenges life throws at you. The Stoics believed that it's not the events themselves that affect us, but how we respond to them. So, even when things feel out of control, we can still cultivate peace within. This guide will help you navigate life's challenges and strengthen your inner resolve, giving you the tools to face external struggles with confidence and composure. If you're looking for ways to remain calm and resilient, focusing on what you can control while letting go of what you can't, you're in the right place. This moment marks the beginning of your journey toward inner peace, and you're exactly where you need to be. Have you ever felt like you're about to explode during an argument, whether with a coworker, a friend, or even online? We've all been there. But what if I told you there's a better way to handle conflicts, one that doesn't involve shouting or violence? The Stoics, who mastered the art of emotional control and reason, offer powerful advice on how to approach disagreements with grace and poise. Drawing on the teachings of great Stoic thinkers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, we'll explore 13 Stoic strategies to help you navigate conflict without losing your cool. These methods might require more patience than lashing out, but the rewards, peace of mind, lasting solutions, and possibly even new relationships, are well worth it. 1. Understand your opponent. When you're in a heated situation, imagine standing by a raging river. Instead of diving into the storm of emotions, take a step back and observe. The first Stoic strategy is to understand your opponent. This doesn't mean agreeing with them, but rather seeing the situation through their eyes. What motivates them? What fears or needs drive their actions? By asking open-ended questions and listening with empathy, you can uncover the deeper issues behind the disagreement. In doing so, you'll find common ground, and the argument may lose its intensity. 2. Choose your battles wisely. Not every conflict is worth engaging in. The Stoics suggest that we should carefully select the battles we fight. Consider the impact of each disagreement on your well-being and your values. Is it worth the mental energy? Will it help you grow? Or is it just a trivial issue that will drain you? By applying the Stoic practice of pausing before reacting, delaying your response, you give yourself space to reflect on whether the conflict is truly important. Sometimes, silence, or walking away, is the most powerful choice. 3. Speak calmly and clearly. When it's time to express your thoughts, do so with clarity and calm. The Stoics valued reason over emotional outbursts. Speak with confidence, but avoid raising your voice or using hurtful words. Listen actively to the other person and validate their feelings without necessarily agreeing with them. Use I statements instead of you accusations to avoid making the other person defensive. A calm, measured tone helps foster a productive conversation and reduces the chance of escalating the conflict. 4. Find shared goals. Imagine two climbers on different paths that eventually merge at the top of a mountain. In a conflict, your perspectives may seem different, but if you focus on shared goals, you can work together toward a resolution. The Stoics believed that even in disagreements we can find common ground. Shift your mindset from me versus you to us together. What do both of you want in the end? By focusing on shared values or objectives, you can forge a path toward mutual understanding and a peaceful resolution. 5. Connect to their core values. The next Stoic strategy is to connect with the other person's deeper values and beliefs. Picture standing in front of an oak tree whose roots are deeply embedded in the earth. It takes more than brute force to move the tree, but by understanding the forces that shape its growth, you can influence its direction. Similarly, by recognizing and appealing to the core values of others, whether it's fairness, respect, or honesty, you can find common ground that appeals to their principles. This helps you communicate more effectively and can lead to a more lasting resolution. 6. Use humor wisely. Humor can be a powerful tool for easing tension and finding common ground, but it must be used with care. Stoics advise that humor should not be used to insult or belittle the other person, but rather to bring lightness to the situation. A well-timed joke or a lighthearted comment can diffuse anger and create a more open atmosphere for problem-solving. The power of humor in communication. When addressing important issues, don't rely on humor as a quick fix. Instead, use it sparingly to lighten the mood and encourage openness. Humor can help people feel more comfortable, but it should be used carefully. It's always better to err on the side of caution. If you're unsure whether a joke is appropriate, it's best to avoid it. Remember, trust is hard to earn but easy to lose, so make sure your humor doesn't jeopardize that. Comedy, when used wisely, can transform tense situations into opportunities for connection, problem-solving, and stress relief. Laughter, after all, can unite people, not divide them, and can turn conflicts into chances for collaboration. 2. Showing empathy. Imagine you're on a mountain trail and see someone struggling below, angry and frustrated. Rather than shouting advice from above, a calm person would descend to offer help and understanding. This approach mirrors the Stoic principle of empathy, which emphasizes supporting others' feelings, even during conflicts. By focusing on the other person's perspective, you can build more genuine relationships and productive conversations. To understand someone, try to see the world through their eyes, consider their past experiences, fears, and emotional triggers. Pay attention not only to their words, but also to their tone, body language, and unspoken emotions. Respond with empathy, acknowledging their feelings even if you don't agree with their actions. It's about creating an environment for honest dialogue and respecting their emotional state without judgment. 3. Finding common ground. Picture yourself facing a massive oak tree, its branches stiff against the wind. Trying to force it to bend could cause harm. Similarly, strong opinions often create conflict, whereas Stoicism teaches the value of balance. Instead of insisting on things happening your way, seek to understand others' views. Focus on shared goals and common interests, such as respect, truth, or creating a positive work environment. When disagreements arise, look for the win-win, aiming for a solution that benefits everyone. Remember, compromise doesn't mean giving up on everything. Focus on what truly matters and be flexible about the rest. A willingness to adapt and find common ground leads to stronger relationships and more peaceful resolutions. 4. Asking for help. If you're lost in a thorny forest, asking for help isn't a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength and wisdom. Stoicism teaches that even in tough times, you're not alone. Turning to an unbiased third party, a mediator, counselor, or therapist, can help untangle complex situations. These experts can offer fresh perspectives and guide the conversation in a productive direction. Their input can help both parties understand each other's viewpoints better and make the conflict less emotional. Asking for help is an investment in finding peaceful solutions and strengthening relationships. 5. The strength of forgiveness. Imagine carrying a heavy rock tied to you, its weight dragging you down. Holding on to anger and resentment is like that. It's a burden that keeps you stuck in the past. Stoicism teaches that forgiveness is essential for mental clarity and peace. Forgiving someone doesn't mean excusing their actions, but it allows you to release the emotional grip they have on you. Forgiveness is about letting go of negative feelings, not the memories themselves. It's about taking care of your own mental health, freeing yourself from anger, and moving forward with greater peace of mind. Forgiving isn't for the other person. It's for you, a way to reclaim your inner freedom. 6. Growth through conflict. Think of a bird that has gone through a storm but emerged stronger. Disagreements can be seen as opportunities for growth rather than setbacks. By reflecting on conflicts, you can learn more about yourself, your emotions, triggers, and underlying beliefs. Each disagreement is a chance to become more self-aware and improve your responses. Instead of avoiding uncomfortable situations, approach them with an open mind and use them to strengthen your character. Over time, with patience and reflection, you can turn conflict into a tool for personal development and positive change. Setting boundaries. Picture yourself on a peaceful beach, but someone intrudes on your space and makes you feel uncomfortable. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of setting boundaries to protect your well-being. You can't control others' actions, but you can control how you respond. Setting clear, respectful limits ensures that your personal space and values are respected. Communication is key. Use I statements to express your needs and stick to your boundaries consistently. Setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's about taking care of yourself, preventing burnout, and fostering healthier, more respectful relationships. 8. Control your reactions. Imagine being caught in the middle of a violent storm. You can't control the storm, but you can control how you react to it. Stoicism teaches that while external events are out of your control, your response to them is entirely up to you. You can choose how to respond with calm, rationality, and perspective. By recognizing that your reactions shape your experience, you can learn to remain composed even in challenging circumstances. This sense of control allows you to navigate life's storms with greater resilience and peace. Each of these Stoic strategies emphasizes the importance of emotional awareness, empathy, and balance in handling conflict, encouraging growth and a deeper understanding of both yourself and others. The Stoics emphasize that real strength lies not in controlling the external world, but in mastering our internal world, our thoughts and responses. As Epictetus pointed out, it is a mistake for the soul to rely on the body for satisfaction. When we focus on controlling our reactions rather than the situations themselves, we can remain calm even in challenging times. To develop this skill, you need to recognize what triggers your emotions. Take a moment to identify what situations or words upset you. Understanding these triggers is the first step in gaining control over your reactions. Pause, breathe, and allow space between the stimulus and your response. In that moment, give yourself time to reflect and decide how you want to react rather than simply acting on impulse. This pause is crucial for managing your feelings, as it allows you to think more clearly and choose a measured response. Often, it's not the events themselves that cause distress, but how we perceive them. Changing your perspective can help you manage your emotions more effectively. Ask yourself, is it possible to approach this differently? What positive aspects can you focus on? When responding to challenges, think carefully about whether reacting emotionally will improve the situation, or if a calm, thoughtful approach would be more effective. Practicing this kind of emotional control takes time, just like any other skill. By consistently trying different approaches to difficult situations, you can gradually improve your mental resilience and self-discipline. This doesn't make you weak, it makes you stronger. Instead of trying to control the world around you, you'll learn to navigate life's storms with poise and inner peace. The true test of strength is not in external control, but in mastering your thoughts and emotions. Stay calm in the face of adversity, make thoughtful choices, and meet life's challenges with the serene confidence of someone who understands that how you respond is what truly matters. One of the key Stoic exercises for cultivating this inner calm is turning an argument into a learning opportunity. The real victory is not in defeating others, but in becoming a better version of yourself by managing your emotions wisely. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, often reflected on the importance of inner peace and self-discipline. He advised that true tranquility comes from cultivating a calm mind, and that we should spend time each day reflecting on our thoughts, actions, and emotions. In his meditations, he encouraged self-awareness and personal growth. He also believed in the power of early mornings, seeing them as a time to align oneself with purpose and focus for the day ahead. To practice these principles, consider implementing some of the habits that Marcus Aurelius followed in the evening to wind down. He would disconnect from the external world, withdraw into himself, and take time for stillness. This is a vital practice today, as we live in a world filled with distractions like technology, emails, and social media, which can overload our minds and prevent us from recharging. To cultivate peace of mind, it's essential to unplug from electronic devices at least 30 minutes before bed. Instead of watching TV or checking your phone, engage in a simple mindfulness exercise like a short meditation or breathing technique to quiet your mind. This practice can help you relax, lower stress, and improve the quality of your sleep. Physical exercise is another cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius believed in maintaining a healthy body because it supports a healthy mind. Even simple exercises, such as walking or stretching, can help release stress and improve your mood. Regular physical activity not only boosts your physical health, but also fosters self-discipline and resilience, both of which are key aspects of Stoic practice. Another essential Stoic habit is the practice of self-reflection. At the end of each day, Marcus Aurelius would reflect on his actions, reviewing what went well, what didn't, and how he could improve. This form of mindfulness, known as attention, helps you become more aware of your behaviors and align them with your higher values. By regularly assessing your actions, you become more intentional in your decisions, learning from both successes and mistakes. To deepen this practice, imagine your role model, a wise person you look up to, and ask yourself, what would they have done in this situation? This exercise allows you to evaluate your choices through the lens of wisdom and integrity, helping you make better decisions moving forward. Finally, Marcus Aurelius practiced taking a view from above, a meditation that helped him gain perspective on his life. By imagining his life as part of the vast universe, he could detach from his immediate concerns and see them in a broader context. This Stoic exercise helps to diminish the weight of daily worries, reminding us that our personal issues are small in comparison to the grand scale of life, time, and the universe. In the evening, try this exercise by zooming out mentally. Start by thinking about your immediate surroundings, your home, your family, and then gradually expand your view to include your city, your country, and eventually the entire world. By considering the bigger picture, you can better understand your place in it and gain clarity on what truly matters. This practice also helps to diminish the impact of negative experiences. When you see your problems in a broader context, it becomes easier to let go of small frustrations and move on. Problems like arguments or misunderstandings appear insignificant when viewed through the lens of the universe. Marcus Aurelius, who lived a life full of responsibilities as a ruler, also understood the value of family. In his evening rituals, he would spend time with his loved ones, reminding himself not to take this precious time for granted. He believed that life is short, and one of the greatest regrets people have on their deathbed is not spending enough time with family. In the fast-paced modern world, we often neglect our family relationships in favor of work, technology, or other distractions. Reflecting on this, Marcus Aurelius's example reminds us to cherish the moments we have with loved ones, as they are the most meaningful. Finally, preparing for the next day was a crucial part of Marcus Aurelius's routine. He would plan ahead, set intentions, and organize his tasks, ensuring that he made the most of each moment. A good evening routine, including setting goals for the next day, helps you wake up feeling organized and purposeful, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. The Stoic principles of self-reflection, emotional control, mindfulness, and gratitude are timeless practices that can help you navigate life's challenges with calm and clarity. By making small adjustments to your evening routine, disconnecting from distractions, reflecting on your actions, and taking time to relax, you can improve your mental and emotional well-being. In the evening, organizing and preparing for the next day can not only make your morning routine easier, but it also helps reduce stress by clearing your mind of what needs to be done. The Stoics, ancient philosophers, valued discretion and silence as powerful tools for personal growth. They believed that not everything should be shared, especially our inner thoughts and feelings. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, suggested that happiness comes from stopping the worry about things we can't change. To help us find inner strength and wisdom, let's explore 7 key things Stoicism teaches us to keep to ourselves. Don't speak negatively about yourself. One of the core principles in Stoicism is avoiding negative self-talk. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "Don't be overheard complaining, not even to yourself." Constantly putting yourself down, even in private, damages your self-esteem and can hinder your progress. Instead of saying, "I'm terrible at this," focus on what you can do and remind yourself of your strengths. A growth mindset where you say, "I can do this, and if not now, I will get there eventually," aligns with Stoic thinking and helps build resilience. Don't brag about your self-improvement. Epictetus taught that self-improvement is a personal journey, not a public performance. Bragging about your progress or sharing your goals before achieving them can reduce motivation and make your journey less authentic. True growth is seen in your actions, not in empty claims. Instead of talking about how far you've come, let your deeds show your development. Humility is key. Let your actions speak louder than words. This quiet growth is more powerful and inspiring to others. Practice moderation in eating and drinking. Musonius Rufus, another Stoic, advised moderation in all areas of life, especially when it comes to food and drink. Overindulgence can lead to physical discomfort and mental strain, while extreme control can lead to frustration. The Stoic ideal is balance. Eat and drink enough to nourish yourself, but not to excess. Moderation helps you maintain discipline and self-control, which are necessary for success and peace. Avoid excessive talking. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, famously said, "You have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Listen more than you speak." In a world full of noise, especially on social media, we often forget the power of listening. Being a good listener shows respect for others and helps strengthen relationships. Listening attentively not only improves communication, but it also helps you learn and grow, leading to better personal and professional outcomes. Don't worry too much about the future. The Stoics warned against excessive worry about the future, as it's something we can't control. Epictetus said that true happiness comes from accepting that we cannot control everything. Instead of obsessing over future uncertainties or past mistakes, focus on what you can control, your actions in the present. By living in the moment and choosing how you react to challenges, you can build resilience and find peace, no matter what the future holds. Be grateful for what you have. Gratitude is a key component of Stoic wisdom. Instead of lamenting what you lack, find joy in what you already possess. Epictetus said that a wise person doesn't grieve over what they don't have, but appreciates what they do. Practicing gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, fostering stronger relationships and a more fulfilling life. Don't complain. Complaining is often an unconscious habit that doesn't improve anything. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Complaining keeps us trapped in a cycle of negativity and helplessness. By shifting our focus to solutions instead of problems, we improve our mental health, strengthen relationships, and boost productivity. The role of silence in Stoic practice. In Stoic philosophy, silence is seen as a powerful tool for personal growth. By choosing when to speak and when to remain silent, we allow ourselves time for reflection and self-improvement. Silence helps us avoid unnecessary noise and distractions, enabling us to focus on what really matters: our actions, our thoughts, and our purpose. Practicing silence can lead to greater wisdom, inner peace, and a more intentional life. By following these Stoic principles, embracing moderation, practicing gratitude, listening more than speaking, and focusing on the present, you can clear out negative habits and create space for a more peaceful, fulfilling life. To break free from the things that hold us back, we must first become aware of the negative thoughts, habits, and relationships that limit our potential. These are like chains that keep us stuck, and the first step is acknowledging them without letting them define us. Once we see the negative, we can actively choose to replace it with more empowering thoughts, such as positive mantras or self-compassion, which build a foundation for happiness and growth. Shifting our focus from what we lack to what we already have, like practicing gratitude, can be a powerful tool. Surrounding ourselves with positive influences, whether it's uplifting books, motivating talks, or supportive friends, can further reinforce this shift. The more we replace negative thoughts with positive ones, the stronger, more resilient, and more loving we become toward ourselves. Similarly, bad relationships can drain our energy and halt our personal growth. These toxic connections often bring negativity, drama, and disrespect, which we need to distance ourselves from in order to grow. It takes courage to cut ties with people who hinder our well-being, but it's essential to create space for relationships that are nurturing and inspiring. Surrounding ourselves with people who care about us and support our aspirations is crucial for reaching our fullest potential. It's important to set boundaries and prioritize our mental and emotional health, even if it means making difficult decisions. Bad habits, whether they involve unhealthy eating, smoking, or drinking, can also trap us in cycles of self-destruction. It's vital to recognize these behaviors and commit to breaking free from them. While these habits may provide short-term relief, they prevent long-term happiness and growth. Instead of turning to harmful coping mechanisms, we can replace them with healthier alternatives, like exercising, meditating, or pursuing creative activities. Building a strong support system and surrounding ourselves with people who encourage growth can make all the difference in overcoming these habits. Equally important is learning to let go of guilt and sorrow. Dwelling on past mistakes can keep us stuck in a cycle of regret. However, it's essential to understand that we are all human, and mistakes are opportunities for learning and growth. Self-forgiveness is key to moving forward and embracing the lessons our past experiences offer. Similarly, forgiving others frees us from the weight of resentment and allows us to move forward with greater peace and clarity. Material possessions can also weigh us down, especially when we tie our self-worth to what we own. True happiness doesn't come from accumulating more things, but from living simply and focusing on what truly matters: our relationships, experiences, and personal growth. Adopting a minimalist mindset can help us clear out the clutter and make room for the things that genuinely bring value to our lives. Another significant barrier to personal growth is the habit of comparison. Constantly measuring ourselves against others can lead to feelings of inadequacy. It's essential to embrace our uniqueness and focus on our own growth instead of fixating on how we measure up to others. By accepting that everyone has their own path and that our worth isn't determined by comparison, we can cultivate a more positive and empowered mindset. Acting impulsively, without considering the consequences, can also hold us back. Impulsive decisions are often driven by emotion, and they can lead to regret. Working on emotional intelligence and self-control can help us make more thoughtful choices and stay focused on our long-term goals. By learning to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully, we can improve our decision-making and enhance our personal growth. The beliefs we hold about ourselves can be another limiting factor. Self-doubt and negative beliefs about our abilities can keep us from reaching our potential. A growth mindset, believing that our abilities can improve with effort, opens up new possibilities for success. To break free from limiting beliefs, we must challenge them, replace them with empowering ones, and surround ourselves with people who believe in our potential. Procrastination is another habit that can prevent us from achieving our goals. To overcome it, we need to develop focus, set clear goals, and break tasks into manageable steps. By creating a clear vision of what we want to achieve and taking small, consistent actions, we can build momentum and break free from the trap of putting things off. Perfectionism is a major obstacle to progress. The desire to be perfect can lead to stress and prevent us from completing tasks. It's important to understand that perfection isn't the goal, progress is. Mistakes are part of the learning process, and embracing them can help us grow. By shifting our focus from perfection to improvement, we can reduce the pressure we put on ourselves and make room for creativity and growth. In today's digital age, Social media addiction is another barrier to personal growth. The constant need for approval and validation online can drain our time and energy, leaving us feeling disconnected from our true selves. It's important to set boundaries and limit our social media use to focus on real-life connections and activities that genuinely bring us joy. Practicing detachment from the digital world allows us to reconnect with our inner voice and gain clarity and wisdom. Ultimately, personal growth requires us to break free from the limiting beliefs, habits, and external influences that hold us back. By focusing on self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and positive change, we can create a life of purpose, fulfillment, and resilience. Letting go of what no longer serves us, whether it's negative thoughts, toxic relationships, bad habits, or material excess, opens up space for growth, happiness, and inner peace. Stoicism offers profound insights into not just surviving difficult times but thriving through them, helping us build a life grounded in happiness, resilience, and true personal freedom. The essence of Stoicism lies in focusing on what we can control, our inner peace, responses, and attitudes, while letting go of the external factors that often drain us, like the negativity of narcissistic individuals. The core idea is to reclaim our mental space and not let others' behaviors, especially those of narcissists, disturb our peace. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not over outside events." In the context of dealing with narcissists, this means accepting that we can't change their behavior, but we can control how we respond to them. It's not easy, particularly when these individuals are a significant part of our lives, such as family, partners, or co-workers. However, Seneca reminds us that the majority of our suffering comes not from the actual events themselves, but from our fearful thoughts about them. Picture carrying a backpack that gets heavier with each negative interaction. A narcissist's hurtful words or controlling behavior adds another rock to it. Stoicism teaches us that we have the power to stop adding these rocks. We can't change the narcissist, but we can change how we allow their behavior to affect us. The key is to shift our focus away from them and towards things that promote our peace and happiness. Things like hobbies, supportive relationships, and setting healthy boundaries. This shift requires effort and self-awareness. We might need to limit our contact with the narcissist, change how we communicate with them, or even cut ties if necessary. But it's important to remember that Stoicism doesn't mean suppressing our emotions. Rather, it encourages us to acknowledge our feelings, understand them, and then make thoughtful decisions about how to respond. If we're grieving the loss of a healthy relationship with a narcissist, it's okay to feel sad and seek help. Therapy, creative expression, or leaning on supportive friends can help us process these emotions and grow stronger. By building an inner fortress of resilience, we protect our peace without being cruel to the narcissist. We simply prioritize our mental and emotional health. This doesn't mean we become indifferent or detached. It means we consciously choose not to let anyone, no matter how challenging, disturb our inner calm. In Stoic philosophy, we also learn to question the inflated self-image narcissists often present. They create a mask of superiority to hide their insecurities, but by calmly questioning their claims, we can remove some of their power. The goal isn't to confront them head-on, but to subtly invite reflection by asking thoughtful, non-confrontational questions like, "How did you come to that conclusion?" These questions invite the narcissist and those around them to examine the truth of their claims, helping us gain more objectivity in the situation and reducing their influence over us. This approach ties into the Stoic practice of prososche, attentive awareness. By staying present, aware of our thoughts and feelings, we can respond to narcissistic behavior with wisdom and compassion, ensuring we stay true to our values and our quest for peace. It's not about changing the narcissist's behavior, but shifting our perception to regain our own mental and emotional strength. The Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance guide us as we practice self-reflection and personal growth. We learn to focus on our own development, understanding that our value doesn't depend on external praise, especially from unhealthy sources. Instead of seeking approval from those who cannot offer it in a healthy way, we embrace self-compassion Knowing our worth is intrinsic. Therapy plays an essential role in this process, offering a safe space to work through our feelings and the pain caused by toxic relationships. It allows us to understand that our self-worth is not determined by narcissistic behavior, but by how well we align with our core values. The Stoic practice of reflection helps us detach from the need for validation and gives us the tools to regain our mental freedom and autonomy. Ultimately, therapy and personal growth aren't just about distancing ourselves from negative influences. They're about building a stronger, healthier relationship with ourselves. Stoicism teaches us that happiness and fulfillment come not from external recognition or material wealth, but from living in accordance with virtue and cultivating inner peace. By following this path, we shift from merely surviving life's challenges to thriving in them, fully in control of our thoughts, feelings, and actions. At the heart of Stoicism is the realization that we cannot control the outside world, but we can always control how we respond to it. This perspective empowers us to protect our mental space, focus on what truly matters, our growth, happiness, and peace, and live a life aligned with our highest values. By embracing Stoicism, we unlock the ability to thrive, regardless of external circumstances. Our habits shape how we perceive our own strengths and abilities, and ultimately how we view ourselves. By acknowledging our accomplishments, we move beyond false humility and develop a genuine appreciation for the work and qualities we possess. Recognizing our strengths isn't about boosting our egos, but about honoring the effort and virtues we demonstrate. Sometimes, we feel noble or selfless when we prioritize the needs of others, whether it's staying late at work to help a colleague, skipping a workout to make breakfast for our family, or sacrificing our own goals to support someone else's. However, constantly putting others first can lead to burnout, frustration, and a loss of self. As the saying goes, you can't pour from an empty cup. Without looking after ourselves, we lose the energy and motivation to care for others. Stoicism isn't about being cold or self-centered. It emphasizes ethics, virtue, and making the world a better place, but it also stresses the importance of self-care. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's necessary for being able to care for others. The Stoics teach us that before we help others, we must ensure that our own physical, mental, and spiritual well-being is in order. This includes understanding the difference between what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and self-care, and what we cannot, other people's well-being. By prioritizing self-care, we align with the natural order and respect our own worth. For a Stoic, taking care of oneself might involve activities like meditation, exercise, spending time in nature, or connecting with loved ones. It's about developing habits that nurture our mind, body, and spirit. Setting boundaries, saying no when necessary, and being aware of our own needs are all part of this process. By attending to ourselves first, we become better equipped to support others without feeling guilty. When you find yourself neglecting your own needs for the sake of others, ask yourself, am I sacrificing my well-being in a way that doesn't truly help anyone in the long run? Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's the foundation of real service, resilience, and a meaningful life. Stoicism offers valuable insights into self-worth. In a world where success, fame, and wealth are often used to measure value, Stoicism teaches that true worth comes from within. It's based on virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation, not external achievements or what others think of us. Developing self-worth involves recognizing and respecting our own character, independent of comparison or competition. It's about striving for personal growth and self-improvement, not seeking validation from others. To build this strong sense of self-worth, we must shift our perspective. We don't find our value in what we've done or what we own, but in how we show up in the world each day. Our worth grows as we work on becoming better versions of ourselves, not as a result of external validation. This means accepting ourselves, flaws and all, and having the courage to embrace our humanity. Stoicism encourages us to stop chasing perfection or approval, and instead focus on self-acceptance and self-love. When we internalize the idea that our worth is rooted in the strength of our character and actions, we no longer feel the need to compare ourselves to others. We recognize that our true value lies in how we live and who we are, not in how others perceive us. Stoicism also teaches us how to deal with enemies or those who harm us. Rather than seeking revenge or reacting with hostility, Stoicism invites us to approach our foes with wisdom, self-control, and virtue. It encourages us to recognize that our suffering is not caused by others, but by our perceptions and responses to their actions. The Stoics remind us that we can control how we think and feel, and by changing our response, we gain freedom from anger and resentment. The key to overcoming anger isn't to fight back or engage in revenge, but to change how we view the situation. Our enemies often show us what is lacking in our own thoughts and actions. They act as mirrors, reflecting our emotional reactions and helping us identify areas for personal growth. By shifting our mindset, we can see them not as threats, but as opportunities for self-reflection and improvement. For example, when we encounter criticism or hurtful behavior from others, we should pause and examine how we respond. Instead of reacting impulsively, we can ask ourselves why we feel hurt or angry. This self-examination helps us develop emotional resilience and wisdom, and by changing our internal reaction, we begin to free ourselves from negative emotions. Another Stoic principle is that enemies can teach us valuable lessons. Instead of seeing them as enemies to fight, we can view them as teachers who push us to examine our flaws and weaknesses. In doing so, we become better equipped to handle challenges and become more virtuous individuals. Marcus Aurelius, a famous Stoic philosopher, advised that instead of trying to get revenge, we should ask ourselves, what fault of mine resembles the one I am about to criticize? This introspective approach cultivates empathy and humility, helping us grow rather than retaliate. The Stoic path encourages us to transform how we view our enemies. Rather than seeing them as obstacles or sources of pain, we can recognize them as opportunities to learn and grow. This shift in perspective allows us to respond with kindness and wisdom, and over time, we develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. One practical way to deal with an enemy is to simply disengage. When we refuse to let their actions influence us, we take away their power to hurt us. By choosing not to respond to their provocations or attempts to disrupt our peace, we show that we are in control of our emotions and actions. This not only frustrates their attempts to upset us, but also allows us to focus on what truly matters: our personal growth, goals, and relationships. Another important Stoic strategy is to understand the enemy. By examining why someone behaves in a harmful way, we can often see their flaws, insecurities, and weaknesses. When we see them as human, rather than as an embodiment of evil, we are better able to navigate conflicts with wisdom and compassion. This deep understanding helps us make wiser decisions and avoid unnecessary confrontation, while also cultivating empathy for others. In summary, Stoicism teaches us that self-worth is internal and rooted in virtue, not external validation. It encourages us to prioritize self-care and self-reflection in order to grow as individuals. When faced with enemies, instead of reacting with anger, we are invited to see them as opportunities for growth, wisdom, and self-discovery. Through this mindset shift, we can free ourselves from the cycle of negativity and live lives that are more peaceful, purposeful, and fulfilling. If you enjoyed this video and found it valuable, don't forget to like and subscribe. By liking the video, you help it reach more people, and subscribing ensures you never miss out on future content. Also, feel free to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, feedback, or any questions you might have. Your interaction helps us grow and improve. And if you think someone else could benefit from the video, share it with them. Thanks for your support, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next one. Star.